Hey guys, what's up? We're doing a YouTube video. First video, we're trying to find out how to use this. So, 1 second. Can you guys see this? Let's try. Let's try getting into a game. Let's see. Let's start a YouTube channel.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Are you looking to make a YouTube channel? Starting a channel is one of the best ways you can start making money as an affiliate because it costs nothing and you get access to a huge audience. Unfortunately, it can be a little confusing, so sit tight and I'll show you how to do it step by step.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Hustling, hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Okay, the first thing we're going to want to do is go to sign in. So we're going to click here and we are going to open a YouTube account. So we're going to go create account, type in our name here. And we're going to go to create an email address. And we're going to just type in an address right here. And we're going to put in our password. And click next. Oh, the username is already selected. So we're just going to add a couple ones here. Go to next. Okay, we're not going to put in our phone number right now. I'm just going to put in date of birth. And go gender, rather not say. Go next. And we're going to read the privacy terms of service. Go to agree. Okay. Now we're back to the main channel, and we're going to go top right to our profile, and we're just going to click on that, and we're going to go.
Hello, my name is Matthew Crawford. On YouTube, I'm also known as Teching 101, and today I'm going to go through a brief tutorial video with you on how to get started making a video on YouTube. Now, this tutorial is not meant to be really in-depth. It's meant for somebody that's never been on YouTube before, never really filmed themselves, and is just wanting to get into the whole thing. So with that being said, I'm going to break this video up into 4 topics: the idea stage, the filming stage, the editing stage, and the uploading stage, where you share your content with the rest of the world. So let's get started. Now, before you decide on exactly how you're going to shoot your video, or before you even pick up a camera really, you need to decide on your content. What are you going to be making videos about on YouTube? Because a positive about YouTube is that it's a really big place that has hundreds of millions of videos on it, but a negative of it is that it's a really huge place that has over hundreds of millions of videos on it. If your content is not something that is special or really stands out or is just not done well, as in if you really don't know what you're talking about when the video begins, people are going to be clicking off of it in the first few seconds. This is even worse when it comes to television or movies. You might have heard something called the 5-minute rule, where if you're not invested in a program in the first 5 minutes, you're going to click off and go to something else. With YouTube, that's way worse because this is a service nobody has to pay for, and they could literally be watching another video within just a click of a button. So you really need to draw that audience in, and a good way to do that is being knowledgeable about your content.
Playing a game? Well, it was recording, nothing showed up. Why are you doing that? Are you doing it for all of them? What about mine?
So whatever content you're going to put out there on YouTube,
You want to come watch this video with me?
Whatever video you're
But I'm just gonna watch a random video. Daddy.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard to read. It undermines the writer's message.
In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can do all of the overtime challenges in Fortnite Battle Royale. Before we begin with today's video, I would like to let you all know that I am hosting a free V-Bucks giveaway, and to be entered, all you have to do is leave a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new, and comment what system you play on. We have finally received the brand new update, and this is the V7.40 update, and along with this we have received the brand new overtime challenges. We have also received brand new items in this update, and tomorrow I'm going to have a video on how you can do the V-Bucks challenges, other known as the Dark Love Ranger challenges, so make sure you have the notification bell on so you do not miss out on that video. But with all that being said, let's get right into today's video. So as you can all see, there is only 6 challenges available to do right now, but I do have the leak as you can all see on screen right here, and these are going to be all of the 20 challenges, so I'm going to be showing you how you can do all of them in just a moment. Now for those of you that do not know already, you will be receiving the Season 8 Battle Pass for completely free just by doing these challenges, which is absolutely insane. And also, if you have not logged in yet, you can get yourself a free glider, and to do this all you have to do is go into the item shop and you just have to gift the glider to your friend. So you can just get your friend to send it back to you and you would have received this glider for completely free. And yes guys, the gifting system is finally back. You can gift friends skins and they can gift you skins as well. But getting right into these challenges, so the very first one is collect coins in featured creative islands. So you just want to go into creative mode and you basically want to enter any of these that say that you can earn coins from them. So we're going to be starting with this very first one right here, and once you guys have loaded in, all you have to do is simply find the coins. Now they're not too difficult in this game mode. We're going to be moving on to the next one, and in this next map all of the coins are mainly located on top of the mountains. You should be able to find every single one of these coins very easily. It is not difficult at all guys, you just have to look for the coins. It only takes a few minutes. Moving on to the second challenge, this is going to be search chest or ammo boxes at motel or RV park. So you just want to come over to this exact location on screen in the video, and this is actually the motel, and you just have to simply search all of the ammo boxes that you can find, and of course they are going to be in the building. I'm pretty sure most of you all know where the ammo boxes are already, because it's basically the same for almost every building. Once you go into these doors, you're going to find the ammo boxes, and the RV park is located at this exact location on the video. So that is both of these locations for the challenges. So that is the very first 2 challenges complete, and once again you just have to open the ammo boxes. It is that simple guys. Now the next one is going to unlock you your very first free item, which is this wrap on screen in the video, and to do this one all you have to do is place top 15 in duos with a friend, and this is very easy guys. But to do this one all you have to do, so if your battle bus does spawn all the way over at the other side of the map, you want to of course land very far away from the beginning where you did originally spawn, and it's that easy. You just have to try and survive with your friend, but it is very easy. I'm sure all of you know how to do this. You just have to place top 15 3 different times, and top 15 means that there is going to be only 15 players left, and when 15 players are left, the notification will pop up on screen that you have completed this challenge. Now the next challenge on the list is to regain health from a campfire in different matches. So you're gonna have to light up a campfire in 3 different matches. It is that easy guys. You can use the environmental campfires, or you can use the campfires that you do find from supply drops or just around the map in general, but you just have to simply regain health from 3 different campfires. Very easy challenge to do, but moving on to the next one, this is going to be one of the leaked challenges, so it may not be in the exact order of the challenges, but these will be unlocked in exactly 2 days. But of course we do have the leaks right here. So I'm going to begin with the more difficult challenges on the leak as we move our way down towards the easier challenges to complete. So visit different waterfalls. This is a kind of difficult challenge as a lot of people do not know where these are located, but as you can see on screen, this is where the very first waterfall is located in the video. So you just want to come over to this exact location on screen, and all you have to do is simply visit the waterfall. That is all you have to do, and that will be one of the very first waterfalls. Now this next one is located right next to Loot Lake at this exact location on screen in the video, and this is of course another waterfall that you guys will have to visit in order to complete this challenge. Now here is where the next waterfall is located towards the very edge of the map at this exact location, and of course all you have to do is visit the waterfall. That is all you guys have to do. It is a very easy challenge to complete. And then the next set of waterfalls is kind of at Loot Lake. So if you guys actually look at this on screen in the video, there is a bunch of small waterfalls at Loot Lake. Now I am not sure if these are going to count, but if these do, you can easily come down to Loot Lake and just go over all of these waterfalls. Another waterfall is at this exact location on screen, which is near Viking Village, and this is a frozen waterfall, but I'm sure it will count as another waterfall to visit on the map. But we have the very last waterfall located at the very end of the map once again, and all you guys have to do is come over to this exact location on screen in the video, and you have to do this for all of the waterfalls. So you just have to simply look at where I went on the map and then visit all of these locations to complete this challenge. Search chest.
I dream of reaching my highest peak.
I dream of soaring.
I dream of getting my Taco Bell delivered to me for free. Hey, thank you. No problem.
Taco Bell delivery. Delivered free for a limited time by Grubhub.
Or ammo boxes at a racetrack or a dance club. So the dance club is located at this exact location on screen in the video, and all you have to do is go into the building and search all of the ammo boxes. They are very easy to find once you are in the building, and then you can head over to the racetracks, which is right at this exact location on screen in the video. Most of you should all know where this is anyway, and then there are 3 different buildings at this location where you can search inside for even more ammo boxes, and you just have to search them to complete this challenge. A very easy challenge to do actually if you do know the locations of these places. But moving on to this next one, you're going to have to search chests or ammo boxes at the block. So you just want to come over to this exact location on screen in the video, and then you just want to search a chest or ammo box, and you just have to do exactly the amount that it will require for you to complete the challenge. So for this next one, all you have to do is simply thank the bus driver in different matches. So to do this, all you have to do is press down on your D-pad, and you would have simply thanked the bus driver, and that is all you guys have to do in different matches to complete this challenge. And we already had place top 15 in duos with a friend, and the next one is going to be place top 10 in squads with a friend. So it's just the same thing as the duos one. You just want to land at the other side of the map so that no players will be annoying you, and you can just easily survive and you can get into the top 10, or you can just play like you normally would, probably around 3 times, just like the top 15 challenge. So revive a friend in different matches. Of course, I'm pretty sure all of you know how to do this. You just want to get your friend to build up, and then you want your friend to jump off, and all you have to do is just revive your friend. It is that easy to do, guys. You can then switch places, and then you can let your friend revive you, and you can both easily do this challenge very fast. Now this next one is going to be visit named location. So to do this one, you want to go to any named location. So looking at these locations on the map that my friend is marking right now, all you have to do is just visit any of the locations that do have a name next to them. So Tilted Towers, or you can go to Retail Row, any of these named locations. Very easy challenge to do, guys. Now this next one is going to be search a supply drop in different matches, and all you have to do is just get into a match and then search a supply drop. The supply drops do look exactly exactly like this on screen in the video. And of course, all you have to do is search it, and then you're going to get loot as well from the supply drops. But not only that, but will you complete this challenge very easily. Now, these supply drops will of course come from the sky, and you will just see them coming down. There should be a marker, like a blue kind of line, where you can see the supply drop landing, and that is how you know that one will be arriving at that exact.
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire,
exact location. Now this next one is play matches of drifting with a friend, which is actually a drift board LTM, and this should be added within the next few days, of course, when this challenge does release. And it is very simple. All you have to do is just play a match of this LTM with your friend, and you would have completed this challenge. And this next one says you're gonna have to outlive 75 opponents in a single match. So you're just gonna have to survive and basically outlive 75 opponents. So once again, you can spawn all the way where no other players will actually spawn, and you can try and just hide out for the most of the game. But if you are actually good at the game, you can easily just play a normal match, and you just have to survive. And this last challenge is actually for battle pass owners, but do not worry guys, you only have to do 13 of these challenges to get the free season 8 battle pass. But this is a bonus challenge that you can all do if you want to get some extra XP or something like that. So all you have to do is have tier 47 unlocked on your battle pass, and this is of course for the battle pass users only. But once again, another very easy challenge. To be honest with you guys, all of these challenges are actually very easy, especially if you do watch this video, to complete every single one. But that was basically it for this video guys. I did show you
So much has happened in Fortnite over the first 7 seasons of the Battle Royale, from the meteor shower to the rocket launch to Kevin the Purple Cube to the Ice King. There's been so many events that have changed the game. That being said, these events have given us plenty of questions that still haven't been answered to this day. So today, we're going to take a look at some of the craziest unsolved mysteries in Fortnite. But before we get started, we have a brand new channel for you. It's called The Binger. Head on over there for more great movie content. If you have ever harvested metal from all of the containers in the shipment lot, you may have come across a briefcase just like Lucura did. The briefcase is actually open and you can take a look inside it, but what you see doesn't make much sense. It looks like an assembly line where there's a bunch of plants going through a machine. Now, have you ever sat down and wondered how destroying plants and vegetation reward you with wood? It makes no sense, right? Well, maybe this little contraption you see in the briefcase is a little gag about turning plants into wood, but we believe it could also be something even more interesting. Maybe, as the snow keeps melting in the southwest corner of the map, it'll unveil more and more of the Flush Factory and show us that's what's been going on there this whole time, and that the toilets were all just a cover-up. Only time will tell. Back in Season 3, we got a weekly update as usual, but it came with a glitch. Now, if you found yourself inside of the storm, your controller would start to randomly vibrate in some weird kind of pattern. It confused many Fortnite players, including ourselves. Redditor Vigilance Foe Tracer was the first to figure out that there might be a code behind the vibration pattern, and used Morse code to figure out what the game was trying to tell us. He figured out that the vibration spelt out SOS D5 418. This was incredibly creepy at the time because we all had no idea why our controller was trying to give us a message. We know SOS is a distress call that you make when you're in an emergency situation, but what about D5? Well, on the map, D5 is where Tilted Towers is located, so we assumed something would happen there on April the 18th, but nothing ever came of it. Another mystery from Season 3 are aliens. Many players believe that aliens were the ones behind the meteor. Yes, it sounds like the cringiest conspiracy theory that you've ever heard, but we've got plenty of evidence that could support this wacky theory. Fortnite players reportedly saw some UFOs in the sky before the meteor attack to begin Season 4. Also, while the meteor in the sky was getting all the attention, Redditor Matey Bob found these signs on top of one of the buildings in Tilted Towers. The one that stands out to us is the sign with a UFO inside a pink heart. It looks like this Fortnite resident has not only seen a UFO, but also loves the aliens, which is kind of weird. On top of all this, some players even said that they heard alien-like voices when playing the game around the time of the rocket launch later in Season 4, so who knows? speaking of the meteor, there's plenty of other questions surrounding it, such as who was in the meteor that turned Dusty Depot into Dusty Divot, and why did it land there? Like Kiwis, we were shocked to see the damage left in its wake. Now, if you saw the trailer for Season 4, you'll know the superheroes were already here before the meteor hit because they're the ones who discovered it in the first place. So could the meteor have brought us some supervillains instead? It's definitely a possibility. After all, it's the start of some superhero and supervillain origin stories, so it's safe to assume something came from it other than mass destruction and hop rocks. We wouldn't be surprised if it all has something to do with Omega. Maybe he landed on Earth and created Diecast, Chromium, and the Visitor in his supervillain lair. But even if he did, what was his end goal for all this? The rocket launch was one of the most anticipated live events in Fortnite history because, well, it was the first one of its kind in the game. Games Radar has some incredible footage of the rocket launch, and it's really bringing some memories back. A question on everyone's mind was, where was the rocket going to hit? Now, we know it was the Visitor who activated the rocket launch sequence, but why did he do it? And where was it supposed to land? Honestly, he's a supervillain, so we figured that he'd want to blow something up just because it's what villains do. And if you paid close attention to the rocket launch, it was going to hit Tilted Towers if it wasn't for a temporal rift that saved it from devastation. It makes sense for a villain to target the biggest city on the map, but was the Visitor working for Omega or working by himself? We'll most likely never know. We talked about aliens, so why not get into dinosaurs? At least we know they exist. During Season 4, the whole theme centered around superheroes due to Avengers Infinity War just hitting theaters, and with Jurassic Park, Fallen Kingdom on the horizon at the time, Epic Games decided to capitalize on the hype of that movie as well by incorporating dinosaurs into Fortnite. Now, even today in Season 7, you could see a few dinosaur statues in the southern area of the desert. Heck, there's even a loading screen that pays tribute to a scene in Jurassic Park. But the more interesting dinosaur-related thing in the game was a giant footprint found by Antster. Located just outside of Greasy Grove was a massive dinosaur footprint, but it wasn't there anymore due to the snowstorm. This could all have been just a part of a movie set or an indication that dinosaurs will soon be found roaming the Fortnite map. The motto for Fortnite Season 5 was Worlds Collide, and in our opinion, it was the best season of Fortnite because it constantly had us on the edge of our seat wondering what's going to happen next. The Durr Burger mascot disappeared from the food joint in the game and appeared in the middle of the desert in California. Yeah, it left the game and then came into our world. Nadeshot, if you missed it, actually went there with a friend to film the whole thing, and there was even a life-size Fortnite police car as well as an agent on the scene. If that wasn't crazy enough, we even started seeing loot llamas all over Europe in places like Barcelona, Cologne, Warsaw, and London, where Seven was able to find one and record everything. We get that it fits the Season 5 motto of Worlds Collide, but it was nuts. This could have just been done to simply promote the game, or maybe it was something deeper, Teddy bears are super lovable stuffed animals that everyone has owned or at least seen at some point or another, but we don't quite understand why they're all over the place in Fortnite. During Season 5, players like Teampo EU started noticing a bunch of teddy bears around the Fortnite map. Some were in houses, while others could be found in places you typically never find a teddy bear. We figured that maybe you could interact with them and that they'll give you some loot or something, but you can't interact with them at all, and they've never been a part of a challenge or anything like that. In fact, just outside of Risky Reels, there was a half circle of chairs around a scarecrow with only one teddy bear sitting down. Was this some kind of AA meeting? Do these teddy bears come alive at night and worship a scarecrow god of some kind? Listen, this is super eerie stuff. Just like the teddy bears, after the rocket launch, rifts started appearing all over the place. When we first code behind the vibration pattern and used Morse code to figure out what the game was trying to tell us. He figured out that the vibrations spelt out
I did show you how you can complete
Well, you know, I think we get there faster in the toilet cart.
If you need plumbing, AC...
It is said in some old ancient texts that giants used to inhabit the earth with men. And while there is no evidence of giants ever living in ancient times, and no one has unearthed a real giant skeleton before, it doesn't mean that giants don't exist. There have been people in modern times that were so large and so tall that it could very well be true that we used to live among giants. We found 10 real-life giants you won't believe actually exist. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, and you'll be the first to know when a new video comes out. Denis Kuplenkov. Ukrainian-born Denis Kuplenkov is incredibly huge and has been called a real-life Hulk because of his massive arms and hands that could only belong to a giant. Looking at the photos of his hands, you would swear that someone was messing around with Photoshop, and they are cartoonishly giant. He stands at 6'1" and has 24.8-inch arms, weighs 308 pounds, and can lay claim to having the most densely muscled hands in the world. He began training with kettlebells in sports clubs around his hometown of Kryvyi Rog, Ukraine, and realized he had amazing strength when he was very young, and started to compete in arm wrestling. He is currently a bodybuilding, arm wrestling, and strongman champion. By the way, if you're curious just how strong his hands are, he can crush walnuts with his fingers. Imagine arm wrestling the guy. Hafthor Julius Bjornsson. Game of Thrones fans might recognize this mammoth Icelandic giant Thor Bjornsson, aka Ser Gregor Clegane, nicknamed the Mountain in the show's latest seasons. At a whopping 6 feet 9 inches and over 400 pounds, Bjornsson is not a man to be messed with. Apart from being an actor, Bjornsson is also a well-known professional strongman and former basketball player. He has consistently finished on the podium for the World's Strongest Man competition.
There's no such thing as a perfect writer. This is why I use Grammarly to check my work.
If I'm putting...
I slept beneath the borrachero tree. Its bell-shaped flowers gave me visions. Suddenly, I found myself lost in eastern Colombia. A huge, colorful snake came and ate me. When I woke, I had merged with the reptile. Half man, half snake. A strange creature slithering through the forest. This story from Colombian street artist Malegria was about sleeping under a borrachero tree. But not only artists avoid sleeping beneath its leaves, all Colombians know you don't sleep beneath the borrachero tree, because, after all, you might never wake up. Sound strange? Keep watching, and you'll realize just why this mysterious tree is so dangerous. The borrachero tree comes from the northern region of South America. Other names for it are datura or florpondillo. Roughly translated, its name means drunken binge. It's related to deadly nightshade, a famously beautiful plant with deathly berries. The borrachero tree doesn't have berries, but it does have lovely white and yellow flowers and smells wonderful. It is very beautiful, but very dangerous. That's why many people consider it a symbol of Colombia. The charming cocoa seeds of the tree have a dark potential. Over the years, people have used the borrachero tree to make a dangerous drug called scopolamine. The seeds of pods from the tree make the drug. People extract the seeds and grind them down. Then they add bleach and other chemical elements to turn it into scopolamine. It is a small white powder and looks similar to cocaine. But Colombians fear this drug far worse than they fear cocaine. It smells of nothing and tastes of nothing, making it undetectable. On the street, they call scopolamine the devil's breath. You don't need to take much for it to have an effect on you. You can be under its influence by simply smelling it. It is as simple and dangerous as the devil's breath. But what does scopolamine actually do? And why do so many Colombians fear it? Well, it has a similar effect to when you sleep beneath the borrachero tree. The natural chemicals play with your mind. You enter a kind of chemical hypnosis. You might look fine and normal from the outside, but scopolamine makes you lose your free will. People can make suggestions and you will blindly follow their advice, even if it means hurting yourself or ruining your life. It means that people can take advantage of you, and they do. Some call it the zombie drug because you act like a mindless creature following orders. You might not look drugged, you can communicate and walk, but your own consciousness traps you. The effect of scopolamine is immediate. Your pupils dilate, your mind becomes lucid and easily manipulated. So how does the science work? Simply put, your body blocks the movement of acetylcholine. This is an important function in the brain to slow your pulse and contract muscles. That's why your muscles loosen and your heart rate increases. It also controls more complex connections in your brain, blocking neurotransmitters that carry information assorted with short-term memory. As a result, you simply become like a child. You trust everyone around you and follow their instructions. The borrachero tree has always been a big part of Colombian history. Indigenous communities would also use the seeds to create the drug. In ancient times, the tribal chief would have many wives. When he died, the tribe would want to kill his wives. But instead of murdering them, they would use the drugs of the borrachero tree. By putting them into a trusting, childlike state, the tribe could convince the wives to kill themselves. They would dig a hole and convince the wives to climb inside. Influenced by the drug of the tree, the wives would literally step into their own graves. To this day, South American shamans still consider the plant to be sacred. The borrachero tree has popped up many times throughout the past. In 1910, a respected doctor called Holly Crippen killed his wife after a party at their house. He used a form of scopolamine to control her before her death. Joseph Mengele, a German SS officer, also used it during World War II in the Gestapo. Additionally, both the CIA and the Soviet Union used the drug as a truth serum in the 1960s. However, due to its side effect of hallucinations, its use was short-lived. In the early 1900s, doctors administered scopolamine combined with morphine during childbirth due to its calming qualities. Even nowadays, medics use the drug of the borrachero tree to control nausea and motion sickness. But mainly, people use scopolamine in very dark ways, especially on the streets of Colombia. It really is the drug of the devil. There is nothing recreational about scopolamine. It is inherently criminal because its purpose is to manipulate others. You can get high and hallucinate on the roots and flowers of the borrachero tree, but the seeds are what make the drug. And nowadays, people use the drug for one reason: crime. Most incidents happen in bars and nightclubs. Often, young and attractive women target wealthy-looking men. Then, they slip the drug into his drink, or they simply blow the powder into their face. Legends go even as far to say criminals will often ask you for directions on a map containing the powder and then blow it on you so you relinquish control. People rob or abuse their victims, then leave them with nothing on a park bench. When they wake up the next morning, they are unlikely to remember what happened. It's the perfect drug for criminals because the victim doesn't remember anything. If they don't remember the crime, they won't report it to the police. What's most frightening about it is that, as well as forgetting, the victim will even help the criminals. Many people have been robbed while using the drug, including a Colombian woman called Carolina. A man stopped her at a bus stop and asked for directions. She took him to the place and they drank juice together, which is when he slipped her the drug. After drinking,
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
she lost all her willpower. She guided the man back to her house. Together, they ransacked everything. She even helped him carry her furniture downstairs. Then, she gave the man all the savings of her boyfriend and his expensive cameras. Under the hypnosis of the drug, she wasn't aware of what she was doing and only reported it to the police station afterwards. But she was still luckier than some. Another stranger drugged Ivan Gomez with scopolamine. At a bar, two girls approached him and they drank rum together with him. He left his drink with them when he went to the bathroom. He has no memory of the night after 2 a.m., but he woke the next morning in the neighborhood park, beaten and with his documents missing. They stole 6 million pesos from his bank cards. When he told the bank, they showed a video of him casually taking money out from an ATM with 2 people. Ivan had long-term side effects of the drug. He suffered short-term memory loss and recurring nightmares. The worst thing is, he will never remember exactly what happened that night. Even still, it could have been a lot worse for him, as overdosing is common. Colombia is full of horror stories like Carolina's and Ivan's, but stories of the devil's breath have traveled further than South America. In 2015, police arrested 3 people for using scopolamine on people in Paris. They stole millions from their victims. The criminal drug of the borrachera tree is worldwide, even if the tree itself is only in South America. It has been part of popular culture for a while. There is even a traditional song about the tree in Colombia. Newspapers and videos have told stories of victims influenced by the drug. This helped spread awareness of the danger of scopolamine and led many journalists to claim it's the most dangerous drug in the world. So why shouldn't you sleep beneath the borrachero tree? There are many different legends about what the tree will do to you. Colombian mothers tell their children to avoid it. They say the leafy canopies and bright flowers give you strange dreams. Others say you will fall asleep involuntarily and live forever in a dream world. But the reason is simple. You shouldn't sleep under the borrachero tree because you can die. The risk is the same as with the drug scopolamine.
Yo, what is going on guys, welcome back to a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video here on my channel. So in today's video guys, I've got you some new information regarding the newest season that's set to release on February 28th, 2019, being Fortnite Season 8. February 28th, 2019, being Fortnite Season 8. As you guys may or may not know, every day that passes now on the lead up to Fortnite Season 8's official release, we're revealed each and every day to some new piece of information, whether big or small, regarding what's going to be included in one way, shape or form in the new season, whether it's new map changes, whether it's an event coming to the game, or whether it's included within the Battle Pass in terms of a particular cosmetic style or theme to skins. We always get updated to new pieces of information pulled from various sources each and every individual day, and to save you guys the time of looking around the internet scrolling everywhere for this information, I cover it all on the channel each and every individual day. So make sure if you're interested in being updated as soon as I reveal that information to my subscribers, that you're becoming one of them by subscribing down below and turning on the post notification bell to allow all notifications to come through to you guys as soon as I upload when I upload, so you're updated and notified each and every individual time that I upload a new Season 8 video with pieces of information that you guys perhaps didn't know. In today's video, as you can see by the title, we're particularly going to be shining a light on the Battle Pass and overall what's going to be included within it when Fortnite Season 8 drops, and the overall theme of it and how we know this to be coming true based off things that we know are coming to the game that's been leaked in the game's files. However, to back up the reliability and validity of each new piece of information I present in a video, I always cover how it correlates to previous pieces of information that we've either been leaked towards or teased towards. So make sure you're sticking around and watching the full video so you get a full insight on what's going to be included or expected to be within the Fortnite Season 8 Battle Pass. Very quickly, before we dive into the leaks and information, I'd just like to quickly announce that I'm currently running a 5,000 free V-Buck giveaway on the channel, and here's how you guys can have a chance to win. All you need to do to enter is simply leave a like on today's video, subscribe to my YouTube channel with post notifications turned on so you never miss a future upload when I upload whatever I upload, follow my Twitter linked in the video description down below, and upon doing all that, simply leave me a comment on today's video letting me know that you've completed all the above steps, whether you state them one by one like here I like the video, here I subscribed, and here I turned on notifications and followed your Twitter, or simply state that you've completed all the above steps so I can then check across your social media platforms to see the fulfillment of the requirements you've stated within your entry comment. For increased odds and a higher chance to win, make sure you're simply staying active on the channel and following the giveaway steps on more videos that I announce it on until February 20th when I'll be announcing the winner. Good luck to everybody who'd like to enter, and now let's get into talking about the Season 8 Battle Pass and what's going to be included within it based off a ton of leaks, rumours and information that's been spread around the community. So the first thing I want to mention to give you guys a solid ground on is the overall theme of Fortnite Season 8. Many people have been speculating, and based off things that have been teased towards us, have came to the conclusion that the Season 8 theme will overall be an underwater or flooded theme or involved with dragons. Whether these two now just concepts tied together in forming one another, whether the dragons are basically a part of the Fortnite flood that's going to occur, or the flooded section of the map being, you know, the main prospect and map change for Season 8, we're yet to know. But how do we know that the Fortnite Season 8 theme is overall going to be based around this flooded or underwater theme? Well, as you guys know, Epic Games like appealing particular seasons to things going on in real life if they actually can and make sense of it. For example, with Fortnite Season 6 it was largely themed around a Halloween party, and obviously the overall theme of Halloween going on around that time of the season's duration. We saw the same thing in Season 7 being an overall winter or Christmas theme with many Christmas themed map changes and wintry themed map changes also being based around the duration of the Christmas time period in real life. So with this being the case, and with the Ice Storm event almost seemingly unhappening because the prisoner skin has been responsible for pushing all this kind of engulfed map area full of ice back to where it originated in the map, being the region surrounding Polar Peak, we can expect, based off the real life implementation and correlation between Fortnite seasons and real life like I just mentioned, for this ice to melt even in the Polar Peak region, and for areas like Greasy Grove that seemingly were flooded and then frozen over as kind of a lake above it, we may be seeing a flooded section of the map or several flooded named locations and POIs, maybe not just in this snowy region that we can see so far. The reason I mention the possibility of named locations and POIs not located inside this snowy region of the map, a third of which is predominantly engulfed by snow and ice right now, is because of the fact these earthquakes are momentarily occurring throughout now until the end of.
Hey, how's it going? Ever heard about this game called League of Legends? Well, you're hearing about it now. Check it out. Each game you get
end of Season 7, which could actually cause a tsunami and force a giant wave because of this tectonic plate movement underneath the sea to engulf the Fortnite map, leaving many named locations and POIs, for example, embedded in the map like Dusty Divot, completely flooded and underwater. Considering the ice on the map hasn't entirely melted, leading off from when the Ice Storm event occurred, it's safe to say that something extreme will need to cause this ice to melt in the Polar Peak region of the map of where the ice was first implemented and basically changed the map going from Season 6 to Season 7, also shown as the iceberg collision in the Season 7 trailer. With this in mind, many people are speculating that the dragon eggs that aren't hatched in the dungeon where the prisoner skin escaped are going to hatch momentarily before the season starts or in the Season 8 trailer, and completely with their fiery breath basically just melt all this ice that's engulfing this third region of the map near Flush Factory, and thus because of this, flood an area like Greasy Grove. Just in case these two seemingly inevitable circumstances don't convince you guys enough that a Fortnite flood will be occurring, being the dragons melting what's left of the ice with their fiery breath, thus resulting in a lot of water being, existent on the Fortnite Battle Royale map, covering some named locations of POIs, or whether it's the tsunami occurring, triggered from these minor earthquakes in the map right now. Well, there's also teasers that Epic Games have had throughout the entirety of Season 7, directly under our nose, pointing towards why there will be, and the fact that there will be ultimately a Fortnite flood. Here, for instance, is a submarine washed up and frozen on top of a seemingly icy mountain. Why would they add this into the game if there was no trace or no kind of implication whatsoever that we were ever going to be seeing a kind of water or submarine warfare as an existent battle trait within Battle Royale? Why am I so certain on this being an implication for Season 8 having a flooded theme? Well, Epic Games, as you guys know, because of the storyline developments since Season 3's end with a meteor in the sky, don't add map changes by accident, and because of this they're always one step ahead in basically developing the storyline and making sense of these map changes that we see from season to season. And with that being said, it's not like this needed to be in the map, it's just kind of a novelty for scenery and thus an implication because there's no other reason to add it within Fortnite Season 7, other than to imply the theme and fate of Season 8. Before we hop into talking about what's going to be included within the Season 8 Battle Pass, we firstly need to look at our current Battle Pass, as there is more implication towards the theme of cosmetics that will be included in the Season 8 Battle Pass, even included within our current Battle Pass. For example, look at the image on your guys' screen right now. There's many cosmetics pointing towards the ice melting with this snowman sticker and spray, almost seemingly being sad and melting basically, and also the fact that we will be seeing water from these, creatures like the octopus and the fish on the hook, and also the actual in-game use of the submarine. For example, this spray looking out of a submarine window at the fish and scenery below that's underwater. So now that we've completely wrapped up all the rumours and put to bed everything that we know so far in terms of the Season 8 theme, and that it will be based around this underwater or flooded theme of map changes that are going to occur, we can now look at what's going to be included within the Season 8 Battle Pass. The first thing to mention is the cost of the Battle Pass, because ultimately everybody wants to know how much it'll cost, as it's usually a great deal, and I don't think that'll be changing anytime soon. With prior Battle Passes, we've always seen the normal standard Battle Pass anyways, cost 950 V-Bucks, obviously just rewarding us with the availability to get all free stages and all payable 100 tiers to be unlocked, with the cosmetic rewards obviously available for us to unlock from
Greetings, friends. Let's play a game. What if you download League of Legends right now, start playing with it, and you're immediately hooked? You quickly learn how it works. Two teams of
from tiering from 0 to 100. The other addition is the Battle Bundle, which is actually a kind of good deal if you're thinking about buying all the tiers, because it rewards you with the first 25 tiers, and as you guys know, if you wanted to buy all the tiers, they cost 150 V-Bucks each, so 2,800 V-Bucks isn't too steep of a price, and honestly is a better deal in the long run if you're interested, like I said, in buying all the tiers in each Battle Pass as soon as they come out. Epic Games make a ton of money as it is, and I don't see them raising the price soon, especially to compete with other Battle Royale games rising in this particular genre and scenery being Apex Legends. So with that being said, we can now move on to what's going to be contained within the Season 8 Battle Pass in terms of cosmetic categories. As you guys may or may not know, every season we get one innovated Battle Pass feature or cosmetic section, just like we saw in Season 3 with the back blings and the contrails, in Season 4 with the sprays, in Season 5 with the toys, in Season 6 with the pets, and now in Season 7 with the weapon wraps, and that totals up to many cosmetic sections included within the Battle Pass that we can unlock, being skins, emotes, contrails, harvesting tools, gliders, banners, soundtracks, sprays, stickers, toys, pets, and now weapon wraps. So if they're going to innovate one more thing, or at least one more thing each season as a Battle Pass kind of cosmetic category, or overall just a cosmetic customizable category, I think they may need to raise the amount of tiers, and if they do this, it may go to 130 based off the previous context of what we've seen prior Battle Passes raised to from Season 2 with the tier 70 being the max Battle Pass tier, to Season 3's max Battle Pass tier being tier 100. Or they may surprise and shock a ton of us by adding many more innovative Battle Pass cosmetic categories, and also changing the max tier to tier 150 to keep a fresh game and incentive to play, rather than these other rising games in the Battle Royale kind of scenery, such as, like I mentioned before, being Apex Legends. Whether they do this or not, I don't think that determines the kind of formula we've got for the longevity of seasons, as it's always on the rise as an average anyways, with Season 2 lasting 67 days, as well as Season 3, with Season 4 lasting a total of 69 days, and Season 5 going up to a whopping 74 days, and then in Season 6 going back down to the 69-day region. With that being said though, Season 7 is the longest duration of a season yet, lasting a total of like 83 days, which is insane. So if they raise the amount of tiers, I definitely think this is a determining factor in the longevity of the season, even going all the way through to the 3-digit day mark, being a 100-day season potentially, or they may just do this anyways and add many more interesting live events like they have innovated in Season 7 in comparison to prior seasons. Also, as we progress throughout the evolution of the Fortnite Battle Pass, we're always innovated to more cosmetic styles. For example, we got the first cosmetic styles in the Battle Pass or ever in Fortnite implemented in the Season 4 Battle Pass, being Carbide and Omega. Fast forwarding until now in Season 7, we have customizable styles or upgradable styles for many skins, such as the Lynx skin, the Zenith skin, the Sergeant Winter skin, the Ice King skin, even the Snowfall skin.
I dream of reaching my highest peak.
I dream of soaring.
I dream of getting my top.
And it's not even just skins anymore, we also have editable styles for the Ice King back bling, and also the harvesting tool or pickaxes for the Lynx skin and Ice King set. With this being said, I'm excited to see the customizable styles for skins leading into the future Battle Passes, particularly being Season 8, because we've got reactive style cosmetics, however we've never seen them contained within a Battle Pass yet. So is Season 8 the season of which we will have reactive style cosmetics contained as rewards within the Battle Pass? Well, it's largely possible. Now that we've covered the cosmetic details of which will be contained within the Season 8 Battle Pass, or maybe, we can move on to particular cosmetics and concepts that may be included or basically innovated or inspired in the Season 8 Battle Pass. For example, in my Battle Pass concept image on your screen right now, we have Neptune, a kind of Love Ranger themed, skin, which is also in the design of Neptune, the king of the sea or the underwater world. We know this is largely possible as an idea or concept, Neptune being a skin in the Season 8 Battle Pass based off the fact not only we see a flooded theme coming for Season 8 most likely, but we've also seen power-based skins in the Battle Pass ranked high to obviously establish this power, with the Ice King in the Season 7 Battle Pass being also another king. In my other concept image of when you go to buy the Battle Pass of what the art will look like, you can clearly see that there is a deep sea diver, again appealing to the theme of these flooded map changes and largely having POIs and named locations entirely underwater in these embedded areas of the map. This could be the case, or we could perhaps be seeing scuba diver skins like not what we've already seen come to the item shop because we have already previously seen them, but in different styles come in the Season 8 Battle Pass. The flooded map changes and the theme around Season 8 being based around the flooded map changes ultimately give an excuse to have a lot of water-based skins, whether it's people like in swimsuits or whatever, or whether it's people just generally like you can see in the image I've put on screen right now, having snorkels and also swimming equipment. So it opens a lot of doors having these flooded map changes be in the game, because there is many things and many kind of, you know, routes they can go down in terms of innovating and creating new outfit styles and cosmetics. With this being said, for other cosmetic categories and concepts that I don't have pictures of, they could perhaps for the toys have a rubber ring, or even have it as a back bling a rubber ring, resembling, you know, going on water or being in a pool of some sort, largely appealing to the water that's mainly on the map as the predominant map change for Season 8, or we could see like a goldfish boat. As a pet. Let me know if you guys have any more interesting theories of what could be included in these cosmetic sections based off the fact that they're theming Season 8 around the map changes that are going to be occurring, which for today's video, like I said, I'm out. Thank you all.
What if one day, strolling down the street, you just happen to come across a creature without a head? Or see a living heart peacefully resting and still beating nonchalantly in some secluded corner of a room? You might simply pass out from fear, or begin rubbing your eyes with all your might, trying to rid yourself of these terrible visions. However, in fact, such a happenstance could occur in real life. As in this mysterious world of ours, there are many instances where the life of an animal continued long after what in most cases should have resulted in the death of the creature. Some of these zombie creatures are served as exquisite gourmet dishes, delicacies for the discriminating palate. For others, you could become their prey. Here will be presented a few stories that will simply astonish you. But in order not to frighten you too much from the start, I will begin with something a little more innocuous. Our first example, something called odoridon. No, this is not the name of some exotic animal, but a Japanese dish, also known as the dancing squid. When you order this delicacy, a freshly prepared and of course already dead example of this sea creature will be served at your table. But what's so special about this, you may ask? The whole thing is served in soy sauce, which the dish absolutely relies on. Upon pouring the soy sauce over the squid, he will immediately begin squirming and shimmying, performing a real dance of death on the plate. This culinary miracle is actually explained quite simply. It's all about the special structure of the nerve fibers of these amazing creatures. Even in a lifeless state, they react with the sodium in the soy sauce. As a result of this, the squid's muscles contract. It seems almost as if the squid is dancing with joy at having been turned into your lunch. This unusual feature of squids and octopi is also used during the preparation of a Korean delicacy called sanakji, made from octopus tentacles. They are also served as soon as they are cut off from the living creature. And again, due to the soy sauce, the tentacles immediately begin to misbehave, squirming and slithering and often even escaping from the plate altogether. The extremities of an octopus can live apart from the body for up to an hour and are able to keep moving even in the chewing mouth of lovers of this delicacy. And if you somehow manage to chew them the wrong way, then these tentacles dancing around in your throat can even suffocate you. According to reports, the eating of Sanak G kills about 6 people every year. However, the danger involved doesn't stop dedicated fans of extreme eating. The dish is apparently quite popular. Unlike these mollusks, some insects can live without vital organs for much longer than an hour. Take, for example, cockroaches, famous for their vitality. Scientists claim that these creatures could withstand even a nuclear war or other global catastrophes. Recently, it was revealed that even a headless cockroach can live for several weeks. This conclusion was arrived at by an entomologist named Christopher Tipping from Pennsylvania. The scientist very carefully, under a microscope, removed the head of several representatives of the American cockroach. After that, he covered the wounds with dental wax and left the experimental insects in a jar. When, a few weeks later, Mr. Tipping checked on the state of the cockroaches, they were still alive. The researcher explains this phenomenon by the fact that as the insects do not have a terribly extensive network of blood vessels, the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to important organs in the absence of their head isn't a particularly difficult task. When the cockroach's head is cut off, the blood vessels clog in the vessels in the neck. As a result, no fatal bleeding occurs, or the normally associated catastrophic decrease in blood pressure. It's also important that cockroaches breathe not through their mouth or nose like humans, but through special spiracles. Such holes are located in the lateral parts of the abdomen of these insects, and they are also not controlled by the bug's brains. A cockroach's diet also plays a role in their incredible vitality. One meal for an individual can be enough to last them for several weeks. Of course, the decapitation of cockroaches is not the most pleasant of diversions. However, according to scientists, such cruel experiments will help us shed light on the work of neurons in the bodies of these insects, assisting us in coming closer to unraveling the mysteries of their extraordinary vitality. Researchers have conducted similar experiments on fruit flies. It turns out that they can live without a head for a few days, and not just by any means, but while still fully enjoying all the flourishes and joys of life. They continue to fly quite briskly, or even just simply walk. According to the experimenters, headless fruit flies kept in an upright position even better than ordinary flies. But the most unbelievable thing of all is that the decapitated males are not averse to continuing to hit on the still normal females. Unfortunately, the winged ladies do not take the headless gentlemen seriously, regarding them rather as some kind of external foreign irritant. The fruit flies can live without a head due to the special structure of their bodies. They have a reserve brain and some other essential organs hidden in their chest. So, even without eyes, the insects can still react, for example, to a light source. Light-sensitive cells located in their kidneys continue to help them see. Upon losing their head, sometimes even larger creatures, such as toads, can still live. One such incredibly freaky creature was found by a graduate student at the University of Massachusetts, one Miss Jill Fleming. Miss Fleming found this bizarre headless toad in a forest in the state of Connecticut. He had the normal toad body and arms and legs, but instead of a head, there was only a stump, without eyes, a nose, jaws, or a tongue. Nevertheless, the amphibian actively moved about and even produced something similar to a croaking sound. This zombie toad had scientists dumbfounded and flabbergasted. Some have suggested that a genetic mutation is to blame. Jill Fleming herself believes that the toad lost his head as the result of some kind of accident. The graduate student also asked Twitter users to express their opinions after posting a video with the little headless wonder. Some suggested that hungry rats ate his head. Others posited that a certain kind of fly might have laid eggs on or in the toad head, whereupon the carnivorous larvae emerged and ate the soft tissues of the poor amphibian. Something even
Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
The most unexpected things always seem to be in the absolute middle of nowhere. Maybe that's part of what makes it all so weird. Humans have left their mark in isolated places, assuming that no one may ever see it again, until now. From large metal balls, giant hands, waterfalls where you might least expect it. Here are strange things found in the middle of nowhere. Number 12. Massive Bosnian spheres. Spheres are not easy to make with basic human tools, so spheres found naturally have always sparked debates. No more than this particularly enormous sphere found by a man randomly in a Bosnian forest. This enormous stone weighs over 30 tons and is between 2.4 and 3 meters wide, which is big for any stone, let alone a spherical one erratically placed in the woods. Intensifying the mystery, the stone quite obviously has a red metallic look, indicating it quite clearly has high iron content. Archaeologist Sam Osmanagic, who has been researching the prehistoric stone sphere phenomenon for 15 years, believed it could be an indication of advanced ancient civilizations. It's an exciting theory, but the archaeologist has been doubted to the point of ridicule by others in the field, who said the prospect of an ancient civilization creating the stone was absurd. Instead, they suggest that the stone was formed through the process of concretion, where rock is formed from secretions of mineral cement within sediments, which is perhaps no less miraculous. Interestingly, though, there are examples of spherical stones that have been chiseled by ancient civilizations by hand, like the Costa Rica stones. Created between 500 to 1500 BC, these stones feature geoglyphs and other markings.
Disneyland is supposed to be the happiest place on Earth, but if these videos are to be believed, it could also be a place of horror and even the paranormal. Number 11. This amateur footage catches a Disney worker dressed as Pluto chasing a small child in circles. The ordeal looks rather comical at first, until you hear the small child clearly screaming for his life and realize that this is no joke. Just as Pluto is about to grab the child, a nearby adult swings him around by the arm and tells him off. The whole park is watching at this point, so Pluto immediately goes back into character and tries to act like nothing serious happened. He walks away with his hands up, as surprised parents continue to film him. I'm not really sure what caused the Disney worker to go off like this, though one rumor is that the child possibly kicked him. According to the uploader, Pluto was escorted away by a park employee, possibly security, shortly after. Number 10. A maintenance technician is servicing the famous Tower of Terror ride. One day, all alone. According to the surveillance video, however, he may not have been so alone after all. A phantom-like figure briefly appears in the seat directly behind the mechanic, but he doesn't notice and keeps going down a safety checklist of some sort. Then, about a minute later, look what happens about 4 chairs to the left of where he's sitting. Some people are saying that this is a camera malfunction, but others believe a spirit was trying to get his attention twice and failed. I did some research and found that the Tower of Terror ride has apparently caused a small number of reported heart and brain problems over the years since 2005. Let me know if you think one of these unfortunate passengers is now haunting the ride. Number 9. A YouTuber named Dare to Be Crimson Lace was at Disneyland during the summer of 2015 when she says this strange black floating ring suddenly materialized over Tomorrowland at around 10 at night.
Mommy, I don't like this.
The giant, asymmetrical circle silently hovers over the park. As this YouTuber and her family discuss what to do next, they consider asking a park employee what the ring is, but none of them can look away from the mesmerizing disc in the sky long enough to ask. Many other visitors recorded the exact same ring and uploaded it, so it definitely happened. I researched this story and could find no official response from Disney. Some people have claimed that this was a smoke ring caused by a fireworks demonstration, but many UFO believers say that this is just a cover-up story for something bigger. Let me know if you've seen a similar ring created from fireworks, or if you think it could be something a lot more bizarre than that. Number 8. A YouTuber named CGA is with her family at a Disney theme park when they decide to turn around and take a quick group video. This split-second decision is all it takes for something bad to happen.
Ay, Mapi, creo que me pasé.
One member of the family is standing way too close to the parade float, and the camera catches everything that happens next. It looks like the girl simply loses her balance, but what you can't see is a large wheel going over both her feet. According to the description of this video, the family was forced to pay for medical expenses out of pocket, even though they say that no barrier was in place to prevent this from happening. They also claim that the employees kept walking by as if nothing happened, but we'll never know for sure because the video ends shortly after the incident occurs. Number 7. A YouTuber named Dan Loganiffy shot this Disneyland footage almost 10 years ago, and it still remains a paranormal point of contention even today. Dan's filming the end of a typical Disney fireworks show when he sees something strange and zooms in. A gray specter appears to be admiring the show from atop his perch on the Walt Disney Castle. It watches the final barrage of fireworks for a bit longer and then silently disappears from sight. Some people think that this was just a fireworks technician wearing dark clothing, while others are convinced that this is a phantom and possibly even the ghost of Walt Disney himself. I'm not sure what it was, but I do agree that the timing is very eerie. I mean, the ghost or whatever it was does happen to show up right before the final high note and then disappears shortly afterwards, so that's definitely odd. Let me know what you think it was, and if you think the timing was just a coincidence. Number 6. The Indiana Jones stunt show is a dramatic recreation of the movie performed in front of a live audience. During this part of the show, the main character is ordinarily supposed to outrace a giant prop boulder and barely escape. This is what happens instead. You can hear a terrified scream emerge from the crowd as the boulder goes off track and heads straight towards the audience. Watch this part and you can see how the boulder would have probably smashed into the front row had it not hit a hole in the stage and slowed down. I guess the real question with this video is, how much does the fake boulder weigh? People have said everything from as much as 440 pounds to as little as 80 pounds, but no real sources have been verified. If only we knew how much the prop boulder weighed, we'd know how much danger the audience was actually in. Either way, this was not the last time that the Indiana Jones stage play would have problems. Many years later in 2009, an actor somehow tumbled to their doom during a rehearsal.
This is part of his routine. He's doing a dive roll and I think he landed on his head. He's unconscious right now. He's unconscious. He's not breathing. Okay.
Sadly, they did not pull through. Number 5. These visitors are boarding the Space Mountain ride when apparently something decides to go with them. Watch it approach from the left side of the screen and let me know if you see it or not. A transparent beam of light appears to move into the roller coaster and then suddenly vanishes. Some people have claimed that this is a famous ghost called Mr. One Way. According to legend, this ghost will sit next to you on a ride and have a conversation for a while before disappearing. This looks like it could just be a glitch in some grainy VHS tape to me, but some people claim that this is indisputable proof of Mr. One Way in action. Even if this video is a malfunction and not paranormal, I guess the legend could still be true. Number 4. This bizarre video of Space Mountain was recorded by a YouTuber named Jake Tungsten. Jake originally recorded it just to have a memory of the thrill.
markings. Number 11. Giant Hand of the Desert. It almost appears as though a giant zombie is rising.
It's the craziest, loudest family on television, and we can't get enough. This Loud house is all about Lincoln Loud and his 10 sisters, but have you ever imagined them all grown up? Stay tuned for some awesome fan art of the Loud house 10 years later. Are you obsessed with shows like the Loud house? Click subscribe to keep up with content about all your favorite shows. Now let's take a look at some grown-up members of the Loud family. Lily Loud. Lily Loud is the baby of the Loud family. On the show, she's only about 15 months old. She can't really talk and mostly speaks in gibberish. Since she's a baby, we usually only see her wearing a diaper, or not. Lily, like a lot of babies, has a tendency to throw off her diaper. She leaves her siblings to have to chase after her and put the diaper back on. She is also one stinky baby. We can't tell much about her personality yet, but we know she's definitely a handful. We are totally digging this fan art from artist The Fresh Knight on DeviantArt. The Fresh Knight does a ton of Loud House fan art, and it's all amazing. In this Lily Loud piece, they drew Lily as an older kid, about 10 years in the future. Since we don't know what Lily would wear, they drew Lily in a purple dress with a purple headband. This is perfect because baby Lily carries around a purple blanket. She's got a lot more blonde hair than her infant original. We just hope older Lily is less of a stinky kid. The Fresh Knight did an awesome job with this rendering. We totally dig it. Luna Loud. Luna Loud is one of the most fun Loud siblings. The 15-year-old girl is the third oldest Loud sibling. Luna is a total rocker chick. She's obsessed with her music icon, Mick Swagger. And Luna is an incredibly talented musician. She has several instruments that she plays, but she mostly rocks out on her purple electric guitar. Luna is a pretty revolutionary cartoon character because she crushes on boys and girls. The Loud House has gotten a lot of praise for being such an inclusive show. We think Luna is one of the coolest of the Loud siblings for a lot of reasons, and we can't get enough of grown-up Luna fan art. This piece is by deviant artist SB99 Stuff. Luna is still rocking her purple skull, but she's traded in her skirt and long tee for a crop top and shorts. She looks fierce. She is also rocking some hot leather jewelry. She's grown out her hair a little, but she still doesn't look too girly. We think that this is a great representation of what an adult Luna would look like. It stays really true to her character's look and personality. SB99 Stuff is one talented artist. Lola Loud. Lola Loud may be only 6 years old, but she is already a total diva.
Lana's supposed to be guarding my princess tower, not attacking it!
Lola is the 9th child of the Loud family, and she is the twin to her total opposite, Lana. Lola can be a real handful. She has a tendency to tattle on her siblings for the littlest of things. She is totally spoiled, and she's got a real smart mouth. She is also very into herself. We love that she has some real self-love, but sometimes she goes a little overboard. She can't look away from her mirror. She gets mad very easily, and she is a pro at manipulating her siblings and parents to get her way. Lola is also a pageant queen. She's always wearing a long pink gown, and she enters beauty pageants all the time. One deviant artist thinks she'll continue her pageant life for a long time. Artist Studio Chaos drew an older Lola. She's still wearing a pink gown with a little pink sash, but this gown has some very grown-up style. She's wearing the same black tiara as the original character, but she has traded her pink heels for some strappy black ones. This is a perfect mature look for Lola. Do you think she'll continue being a beauty queen as an adult? Lori Loud. Lori is the leader of the Loud family. As the oldest, she is often very bossy and has a short temper, though not as short as Lola's. But she's also very friendly and protective. She's supposed to be the most mature of the Loud siblings, but she doesn't always succeed in that role. We love her anyway. Lori is the only Loud sibling with a driver's license, so the other kids try to stay on her good side. We usually see Lori glued to her phone, texting or talking to her friends or boyfriend, Bobby. Lori dresses way more casually than a lot of her siblings. She sports a blue tank and brown shorts. So what would Lori be doing 10 years later? Thanks to artist JBoy32X on DeviantArt, we get a pretty good idea. JBoy32X has done a whole series of the Loud characters 10 years later. In this piece, we see Lori at age 27. She's traded in her casual look for a very professional one. She's wearing a gray sweater over her blue shirt, and she's got a brown skirt instead of shorts. She's still glued to her phone, but we imagine she's on some sort of business call. For someone as bossy as Lori, we bet she would be one amazing businesswoman. There's no doubt that Lori will grow up to be super successful. Lisa Loud. The 4-year-old Loud sister is one of the funniest characters on the Loud house. Even though she's the second youngest sibling, she is by far the smartest. She's obsessed with all things science. We usually see her working on super complicated formulas and equations. She knows she is brilliant, so she often comes across as a little full of herself. She swears she doesn't take part in mundane human emotions.
Usually I'm impervious to human emotions.
But we see her smile every now and then. She often annoys her siblings by being scientifically interested in their bathroom habits. Gross! The fact that she's a 4-year-old super genius always makes us laugh. She's not just all about academics. She's also a total prankster to her siblings. She can also be a little scatterbrained, like a nutty professor. Lisa wears a green sweatshirt and red pants, and of course she wears glasses. We just know Lisa will grow up to be a super successful scientist. We love this artist's rendering of a grown-up Lisa Loud. Daydream Devil 1 on DeviantArt drew this beautiful picture of adult Lisa reading a book. She's still dressed in the same outfit the original character wears. We love how realistic Daydream Devil 1 made her. What a talented artist! Lincoln Loud. No Loud house list would be complete without Lincoln Loud. Lincoln is pretty much the main character. A lot of the show centers around him and his relationships with his sisters. He breaks the fourth wall a lot to talk to the audience about life in a crazy huge family. He is one of the quietest Loud siblings, and he is often seen reading. He comes up with elaborate plans, but these usually end up in epic fail. He's a kind, good-hearted kid who loves to have fun, and even though life gets a little insane with 10 sisters, he loves all of his siblings very much. Lincoln is kind of stuck in that awkward preteen phase. He's got white hair, an overbite, and freckles. We usually see him wearing an orange polo and blue jeans. Artist Sugar Element from DeviantArt stuck with the same orange ensemble for her older Lincoln, but she updated him. In her fan art, Lincoln grows up to look super cool. He's got an orange button-down open over his orange tee. The t-shirt has an ace symbol on it, which is a nod to his favorite comic, Ace Savvy. We love that Sugar Element threw in this awesome detail. His hair is a lot tamer, and so is his overbite, so we can assume he had a good orthodontist. Everyone needs one of those. Lincoln is way less awkward in this fan art.